In today's video, I'm going to show you how to blow insulation into your attic or your crawl space and how to get a perfect R30 rating even if you can't see what you're doing. Hey, it's Jeff and Matt here from Home RenoVision DIY, and today we're here to tell you about how you can save some money. If you got an old house like we do, then you're going to need to know how to use one of these machines. This is the insulation blowing machine. We are using the AtticCat fiberglass pink system. Basically, the down low is this. The machine rents for free if you need at least 10 bags. But that means you need 1,000 square feet of insulation, R20, or 500 at R40, depending on what you're going for. Each one of these bags does about 100 square feet at R20 level. The product itself does not compress over time unless, of course, it gets wet. So make sure you got a good quality roof. And basically the concept is simple. You can buy the material, rent the machine. Home Depot does require a deposit for the machine, even if you have good standing for rentals there, because it's a separate arrangement, 250 bucks, just to make sure that this is coming back to the store, right? And the deal is simple. It comes with a hose, and you basically are going to be cutting the bundles in half, putting the insulation in here, and then inside it's a big steel wheel, and it's going to break it all up, and then it's going to blow it with the high pressure hose, and then this stuff, poof, it expands when it gets in the attic. You're going to blow it out, and it just goes into like big pink snowflakes. We're going to demonstrate the machine in a second, and we're going to show you a few things you're going to need to know about attic spaces when you're insulating. Processes that are effective, how to get consistent R value throughout the whole attic. And we got two different areas here. We have one that's got a new framing and vapor barrier and not a lot of room to maneuver, so we're going to show you how to work in that space. And on the other side, we've got a much more open situation. We're going to be doing a top dressing, so we're just going to be adding a little bit more and filling in some cracks and crevices. We'll show you all the tips and tricks for getting this done right. Oh, so I'm suggesting that they have a little remote thing here, so when you're working you can hit the start or stop button on the machine. This is a two-man operation, so you're going to need an assistant because, well, luck would have it, the battery's dead on the remote. Big surprise, it's a rental. And I'm going to have to be yelling at Matt to start and stop the machine as I need it. Frustrating. Anyway, you're going to need an extension cord. Just a single 3-prong with a ground, okay? Didn't come with the machine, thank God I had one. And then Matt, we just have to connect the other part of the hose. Now, this hose is long enough. You can actually leave the machine out in your truck, and your second person can actually just be loading the machine. There's a window here. You can tell when it starts to get a little low. And with the remote that works great. But since the remote's dead, we got to bring the machine up here so we can communicate today, which is lovely. And it's heavy. It's a heavy machine. All right. I remember the last time we did this, we didn't read the instructions. And it had been so long since I'd done it. They're actually listed on the thing. It had been so long, we just cut the end off and we tried to push all the insulation out of it. And we had a hell of a time. But if you follow the directions, it works pretty easy. So go ahead and
cool. So you get your knife. There's like a dimpled marking here in the middle that you cut in half so you can feed into the machine. So I'm just going to start by cutting the sides. Deep into it, kind of like a steak, I guess. Flip it over, cut it again. Now I don't expect to get all the way through with this. So when I'm done cutting, I'll just like put my foot on one end, pull up on the other, and stomp it. And just freaking break it in half like that. Slit the top here. So that when you put it in the machine, you can peel back the plastic and it'll go into the machine. Got a little how-to by me over here. Yeah, a little
how-to by Matty.
Yeah. And
that fits real easy. There's lots of room, right?
Yeah, tons.
And so what do? Are you like...
I'm good to go.
Are you pushing it in and leaving the plastic out, right?
I'm going to be grabbing the top of that slit I made, kind of like just leaning into it and pulling it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so now we got to get up on the ladders. Me and Max are going to get up on the ladders, and we're going to demonstrate how to do a top dressing situation. What we're going to do is we're going to start off, and we're going to shoot this as far as we can, try to get the fill all the way to the back of the other side of the room here, specifically aiming for the peaks to get it down those rafter joists, because you can see behind the insulation there's a huge cavity. There's no R value there. And it'll be the same for every one of those spots. So let's do the first half bag. We'll try to fill this with that. Yeah, it usually takes a minute. There we go. It's starting to chew it up now. Okay. And you can see I'm actually getting about 12 feet of directional control here, which is not bad. Just the one bag for now, right?
Yeah, we started with the half.
Good. We'll stop after that because I got to crawl in. All right. We're going to shoot it all the way to the other end of the attic here. When you get near the end, you just shoot it up into the ceiling, and then it'll rain down on your spot. Because you can't just blow it, because it just blows away. So you got to rain up. As long as you do that kind of a technique when you get near the end, everything will be fine. Get nice even coverage. The land's nice and fluffy like. It's almost like a pink Christmas. And that's how you get a top dressing. We just added about 5 or 6 inches everywhere. That gets me, what's the bag say there, Matt? 6 inches is R20?
R16.
Okay.
7.5 is R20.
Right? So in this situation, I've already got an R20 insulation laying on top of some older stuff. So by adding another 16, I'm pretty good. I'm about a 40 here. And it fills in all the gaps in between all of the other bats. And so I finally have a nice layer. Now, let's go show you how to fill up a ceiling cavity with your vapor barrier in place. If you don't have one of these at home, they're crazy valuable. It's an 8-foot step ladder that also collapses and becomes a small version of an extension ladder. All right? It helps you to reach really difficult spaces. Okay, pass me my hose. Okay, let's get going. I'm aiming at the back wall. Being able to see what you're doing is critical. You're looking for the total thickness. So I got 7.5 inches here. I want to go
14 3/4.
So that's up to here. Okay. Turn it on.
Turn it on.
Wasn't quite ready for that one. Yeah. We're using all the material, Matt.
All of it.
Yep.
All right, another half.
Nice. Here, I'll just demonstrate up top when I do that. That's why it doesn't look like it's filling very fast, because it's filling a very large area slowly. All right, now as you can see, we're gonna basically just create a mountain of insulation right here, because this is actually an exterior wall now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put R20 insulation horizontally here, and then we're gonna use a lawn rake to pull the insulation up tight against it. Piece of cake. We'll put in the insulation, staple our plastic halfway across, and this will enable us to have enough fill in the space so that we can back it up and fill all this cavity up so we have a nice continual thermal break. All right, guys, so there you go. Who says working on renovations can't be fun? This is kind of playing in the playground kind of stuff, right? It's pretty straightforward, it's easy. Just gotta mind the fact that it is under pressure, it's being blown. So if you wanna fill something and the air that you're blowing is blowing it away, just turn it into the roof and let it rain down into the right location. It works every time. And doing something like this, I think the total cost, because the rental, the 4 bags, I'm in around $300, $350 maybe Canadian, which isn't bad because I just insulated a huge space. And that is going to seal this up tighter than the drum, and it's going to conserve all my energy for years and years to come. So I would like to know if this is something that after watching it, you think you could do yourself. Give us a thumbs up if it is, and ask your questions in the comments section, or let me know if you've had experiences renting the machines and what you thought your experience was, so we can encourage other people to tackle this project themselves. I'm telling you right now, if you go out and hire a contractor for this, they're going to charge you thousands, or you can do it yourself for just a few $100. And if you're insulating things that aren't going to be blown in, and you need to know how to use bad insulation and vapor barrier, then click the link right here. Okay, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That link is a kitchen video. It has all of our tips and tricks for how to do a bad installation successfully. You're your best renovator ever, so go have some fun and get at it.